upon a time, there lived a king named Oba Adetola. He had two wives, Olori Adenike and Olori Bimpe. Olori Adenike was the first wife of Oba Adetola. After several years of marriage, they had no child. And so, as the tradition demanded, Oba Adetola took a second wife, Olori Bimpe, in order to have an heir. After few weeks, Olori Bimpe conceived. Oba Adetola was very happy. But this did not sit well with Olori Adenike, and she became very jealous as she wanted to be the only wife with or without a child. She started treating Olori Bimpe differently and plotting evil against her. When she found out that all her plans were not working, she connived with Akin, the stepbrother of Oba Adetola, who was interested in taking over the throne. Akin was the first son of the late king, but he was born by an outcast and was never acknowledged according to the tradition, as he was labeled an illegitimate son. After the passing of the late Oba, their father, Akin became close to his brother Oba Adetola with the motive of overthrowing him one day. When Olori Adenike came to him with a plan to make sure the king and Bimpe did not welcome an heir, he was more than willing to help her. They threatened a guard in the palace called Tunji to pretend to be Olori Bimpe's lover. If not, they would kill his family. One day, Olori Adenike added some herbs to Olori Bimpe's food. And when she finished eating, she fell asleep. The guard came into her chamber and lay beside her. It was that moment Olori Adenike called Oba Adetola to come and see what she was up to, and accused her of being an adulteress. When the king came to her chamber, he saw everything and immediately ordered the execution of the guard and the arrest of Olori Bimpe for committing adultery in the palace. When the guards were taking Tunji away, Akin helped him escape, as that was the agreement. The king was heartbroken and disappointed at Olori Bimpe for betraying him. Even when she tried explaining herself, no one believed her. The king ordered for her execution, as that was the law. But Olori Bimpe pleaded that she should at least swear by the gods to prove her innocence. When Olori Adenike heard this, she immediately went into her room and brought out charms and wore it inside her clothes. After making the incantations, The charms were to reverse everything Olori Bimpe would say and make her words backfire against her. Even when Olori Bimpe pleaded with the king to spare the baby in her womb, the king refused because he believed the child was for the palace guard. Olori Bimpe swore with her life that if she was innocent, the gods should spare her. But if she was truly guilty, may the gods make her mad. After she finished swearing, nothing happened to her, and the villagers started murmuring that perhaps she was innocent and wrongly accused. Just when the king was about to set her free, she was struck with the spirit of insanity and she became mad. Everyone was shocked, and the king banished her from the village and never to return. Some of the villagers began to stone her and beat her, and she was sent into the forest with the child in her womb. When Olori Adenike and Akin saw this, they were happy and they secretly celebrated. Not too long, Olori Adenike and Akin started having an affair. And not too long, she became pregnant for him. And they both agreed to keep it a secret and pretend that the baby was for Oba Adetola. When Olori Adenike told the king about the pregnancy, Oba Adetola was very happy. Meanwhile, Olori Bimpe continued to roam in the forest and she gave birth to a baby boy. No one knew anything about her as she was the only one in the forest. She took care of the baby even in her mad state. Few months later, Olori Adenike gave birth, but to her greatest shock, it was a tortoise and not a child. The midwives were shocked and immediately told the king about it. And the king summoned the chief priest. When the chief priest was with the king, Olori Adenike and Akin knew that the chief priest will eventually find out the truth. So they decided to take some things and run away from the village. When they have almost left the village, the guards caught up with them and took them to the palace. The king was shocked when the chief priest told him that Olori Adenike and Akin were having an affair, and he sent them to the dungeon. When the king got to his chamber, he was so worried and started to question the gods as to why his wives were adulterous. And so he decided to seek for help. When Tunji, the palace guard, heard that Akin and Olori Adenike had been put in the dungeon, he came to the palace and told the king the truth about how he was threatened to pretend like he was Olori Bimpe's lover. He further told the king that she was drugged and the two of them never had an affair. The king was shocked and immediately told the guards to go and look for Olori Bimpe, and he started praying to the gods to keep her safe. After many hours of searching, they found Olori Bimpe and her son, and immediately they took them to the palace. The king was happy to see her and his son, and immediately sent for the chief priest. The chief priest consulted the gods, and it was confirmed that truly she was innocent, and it was Olori Adenike's charms that caused her madness. Oba Adetola was shocked and asked the chief priest to reverse the madness, and Olori Bimpe was well again. The king begged for her forgiveness, and she forgave him after hearing the full story. Olori Adenike and Akin were abandoned in the dungeon where they eventually died. The king threw a feast to celebrate the arrival of his wife and son, and he was named Prince Adewale. Oba Adetola and Olori Bimpe lived happily, and soon they were blessed with lots of children. This is the end of this story.
Thank you for listening to this story. Please do not forget to subscribe, like and share this video, and also comment where you are watching from below. We love and appreciate you. Bye.